Hello, everyone. I am Mr. C, and today I want to talk about everyone's favorite part of the day. We're talking recess duty, folks. That's right. If you're watching this video, you're probably going to be doing some recess duty at some point this year. And so I want to talk about some of the major tenets, some of the things that we really want to keep in the forefront of our mind. First and foremost, if you are on recess duty, if you are in charge of supervising recess, one of the greatest tools that I think I've used in my career is setting expectations, right? You want to have just a quick little meeting. And when I say quick, I mean quick. The shorter, the better. You want to go, first and foremost, you want to be able to tell the kids in group, if they're coming out by class, you can do it by class, which is why being quick is important. There's other reasons why being quick is important as well. But you want to let them know the areas of the playground that are closed specifically, right? If you can't supervise an area, don't have it open. If you can't see kids there, then they can't be there. And so tell them that. It is okay to close areas of the playground, and it is okay to close blind spots in places where they can't be. And when you're setting rules, I like to use choral responses, meaning like I say something, the kids say something. It helps kind of set those top three rules. My three rules that I always have, that I always make kids respond to, I always say safe bodies, and then they go safe bodies, kind words, and everyone can play, and everyone can play. Are they going to remember this? Not always. Sometimes never, right? But it's important that if they say that, right, you can reference that later when kids aren't having safe bodies or aren't using kind words or not letting other kids play. You have that reminder of, hey, our rules are everyone can play. Our rules are use kind words, right? And I just want to just reiterate, make this meeting really quick. Because lots of kids, man, they're going to be practicing that executive function. They're looking at the swing set going, oh, like I am 10 seconds from getting to the swings right now. So they're not going to be really active listeners in that moment. Really, it's kind of just a time for you to set expectations that you can reference later, because you are going to have to reiterate and repeat expectations. It's okay. It's very normal for kids when they're out at recess to kind of forget the rules because it's that unstructured time. All right. Rule number 2 of recess duty, active monitoring. You are in charge of being out there and monitoring and supervising actively. What does that mean? Move around. Don't get stuck in one spot. Move around. Move your body, move your eyes, move your head, right? Be moving around, be looking around. Choose good lines of sight. You want to be posting up in places where you can see lots of kids, right? If you've got half the kids in front of you, well, that means half of them are behind you, and you can't, unless you have eyes in the back of your head like my ma, you can't see behind you. So move yourself so that you can see large percentages or all of the kids. You're probably not out there alone. There's probably somebody out there with you, okay? And if that's true, make sure you're both posting up in different spots or next to each other but facing different directions so that you are actively monitoring and seeing everybody that's out there. And be checking those blind spots. Just because you closed a spot down doesn't mean kids didn't sneak in there. So when you're moving around, make sure you're routinely going and checking those blind spots and reminding kids, hey, this is closed. Hey, you can't be in between the sheds. We stay out where we can be seen. We don't go in between sheds out for recess. Hey, we don't allow kids under the trees over here because we can't see them. It's okay to explain to kids why they can't go somewhere. It's actually important because they need to know. Otherwise, they're like, well, why can't I be under the tree? I like being under the tree. Yeah, but I can't see you under the tree. And that's not safe. I need to be able to see you. That's my job. Okay, so active monitoring, move around, choose good lines of sight, and check those blind spots. Third, conflict resolution. You are going to be resolving conflict. I hope you're going to be resolving conflict. Classroom teachers desperately want you to be resolving conflict. Be restorative, right? You're trying to build relationships with kids outside. Sometimes you're just going to be like, look, you guys shouldn't be playing together. Don't play together. That's a last resort thing. For me, I want kids, you want kids, we want kids to learn how to resolve conflict and play together, right? Lots of times kids who get in arguments and fights are like they're really good friends, right? We fight with people that we love. I know I do. Talk to my brothers and sisters. We want to be encouraging independence here, right? A kid who's going to run over to you and tell you something happened. I'm not saying you have to be like, deal with it yourself, but you should be helping them to learn how to resolve conflict themselves, talk it out with these other kids, and you have to be continuing to supervise. Okay, just because you're helping to resolve a conflict doesn't mean that you're not in charge of seeing what's going on and actively monitoring the rest of the playground. If you need help to resolve conflict, that's when you get on your radio and call for support, right? But if it's minor, you're going to want to encourage kids to resolve it themselves. If you've ever been out for kindergarten recess, you know they tattle about everything, right? And a number one rule, or I don't know, my mantra is, oh, well, what did you say when they did that? How did you respond? And 9 times out of 10, they're like, well, I ran over and tattled. And you're like, okay, well, next time, tell them I don't like that, right? Teach them skills to resolve conflict on their own so that you don't become that weapon for resolving their conflicts for them. We really want to be encouraging independence when they're out there. And then, my number one rule, if you're monitoring recess, just know it is a kid's favorite time of the day. Be happy, be positive, be restorative, encourage relationships, right? It is that unstructured time. Kids are sitting in classrooms all morning. They finally get to go outside and run and jump and scream and yell and flip and throw and tumble. It is the happiest time of their day. I know if you're doing 3, 4, 5, 10 recess duties a day, it might not be the happiest time of your day, but it is important that we put on that face, that we understand that it's very normal for kids to be crazy, wild, energetic, and happy. And you're a part of that. You're a part of that community. You're a part of that here at our school. We want the people who are supervising our recess duties to be happy, positive, joy-centered people, supervisors when they're out there. All right, if you got any questions, you think I forgot anything, hit me up in the comments, or I'm sure you know where to find me. Have fun out there. Don't forget your sunscreen and your sunglasses, because we're going to recess.